All right, so this is part 1 of Module 6. Hello, 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 those who are here live and those who are catching the replay. I just wanted to really quickly take a moment to just say how proud I am of how you have been, what's the best word for it? Just sticking with it, right? So I don't know why y'all won't post in the group all this stuff, but anyway, I get inboxes and text messages and just just overall general side conversations about your progress and about what you have accomplished and about the things that you have been doing, and just kind of just very small. Hello, are you guys just not able to hear me and see me? Because I have been talking to y'all. Are you serious? No wonder y'all weren't putting anything in the chat. Y'all couldn't hear me. I am so sorry. I did not realize that I had to hit start broadcast. See, I'm still learning Webinar Ninja. So I didn't realize that I had to hit start broadcast in order for you to see me. I thought that because it was up on my screen, y'all could see me. So I did start at 6. Please forgive me that y'all been, right, Shawan, that y'all been sitting there all this time, just kind of waiting on me. So I apologize. I thought y'all could hear me and see me. I was asking y'all to put stuff in chat and everything. And I'm like, why y'all not saying nothing to me? Hey, Erica. Erica made it. Yay! So I apologize because I was talking to y'all and y'all couldn't hear me nor see me. So let me for real start over now. But yeah, I get side conversations about what you have been able to accomplish, and for some people a little bit of fear because while we were building our email campaigns and doing our blog posts and just kind of setting the stage for our brand and for our speaking platform, it was kind of all good. But now some people are kind of like, okay, now it's time to start talking to people, like getting up on stage and saying something, and I don't know how I feel. But still, I'm very proud of the work that you guys have been doing, the hours that you've been putting in, whether you have been consistently working every day between modules, or if you find yourself cramming on Monday night. I mean, no problem, Nakia. Even if you find yourself cramming on Sunday and Monday night, trying to make sure that you are able to show up on Tuesday, I'm still proud of you because I realize there is a lot of work involved in Converse Speakers Academy, because not only it's not just about speaking, it's about creating your speaking platform, right? Right, Shawana. It's about creating your speaking platform. Now we are getting into the actual verbalization, the speaking part of it. But hopefully you can see how all the rest of it was necessary prior to us writing our signature speech and all that, because you had to get familiar with your brand and what you were looking like, saying, doing in the marketplace. So I'm very proud of the work that you have put in. I'm very proud of how you have just kind of really just said, okay, I got to get this done, even if it's just a little bit every day. Or even if it's just a little bit overall, hopefully, and chances are, it's more than what you've done up until this point. Because I feel like this has been more of a concentrated effort, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Okay, so I wanted to give you a hand clap for that and say I'm very, very proud of you, and keep doing the work. This is our second to last module. Even though I'm thinking about adding like one more after after part 2, which is module 7, adding one more just to kind of tie up loose ends, because I'm thinking through this as I'm going through it with you. And so like I'll look at modules and I'll be like, dang, I should have mentioned this, or I should have did that. Dang, I should have tied those two things together. So in the beta, I can I can do that. I can kind of, what? Let me give them a little extra. I can do that, right? So I may do that. So let's talk about the business of speaking tonight, part 1. Now, please do me a favor, because I don't know what's going on. Excuse me, when I share my screen, But when I watch the replays, I'm noticing that my slides are not advancing. And I want, because I speak fast, especially when I get excited, I want you to be able to see, because what we're discussing tonight is not in your action guide. So let me explain. In your action guide and what I have you doing in the action guide is a piece of the business of speaking that we're going to talk about tonight. There were not actual, the product creation was important to have in the action guide because there are steps. The presentation tonight is more about information. Okay, it's more about information. So I wanted to make sure that you had the opportunity to get the information. Now, there is a 7-day challenge. I just kind of added that like as I was putting the PowerPoint together. Just like, let them do this right quick. Because I got a question, what are we supposed to do with our signature speech? I have it written. What are we supposed to do with it? And I thought that was a great question. And I have something for you to do with it. Ooh, I'm so excited. Yes. Okay, so that is the, now I am toward the end, if I let me to remember. At the end, I'm going to mention a little bit about product creation, because I want to speak to those of you who either have books or are releasing books in the very near future, because I want you to put together something, an informational product for your book. So for those of you who are authors, you have to do the product creation twice, unless your signature talk is wrapped around your book, but I don't think that's the case for any of y'all. So you have two things to do, two products to create, one for your book and then one that connects to your signature speech, okay? But we'll get to that toward the end. Or I may make that be a part of the extra module that I'm going to give you. We'll see. I don't know for sure. Okay, so take really, really, really good notes. However, don't panic, because this is being recorded and you will automatically get the recording in your email. So don't panic. Oh, she's talking too fast. It's okay. You'll be able to stop me and rewind me as often as you want to. Okay? Let's see who else is joined right quick. I'm being nosy. Yay, Sandra made it! Yay! Okay, so tell me something. If somebody, I need to designate somebody, probably Nakia, because I think she'll probably be the fastest at it, because she is like me. She's the inbox queen. If my slides are not advancing on your end, then Nakia, please inbox me and tell me that it's not advancing. And then I'll try to fix something on this end. Whatever I got to fix, I don't know. Okay? Thank you, Nakia. Okay, here we go. I don't even know what this is. Okay. Okay, let me see. It might be that one. No, I don't think it's that one. Okay. Let me do this. No, I can't do that yet. Okay, screen share. Okay. There we go. There it is. Module 6, Part 1. Share. Okay. From beginning. Okay, so right now, you should see the Converse Speakers Academy, your 3-month training to becoming an all-star speaker. That should be what you see right now, okay? And then now, it should say Module 6, the Business of Speaking, Part 1. That's what we're covering today. So, Nakia, if it does not say Module 6, the Business of Speaking, Part 1, please inbox me right quick and let me know. You should be looking at a slide that says Module 6. The Business of Speaking, Part 1. Because I'm like, I can't keep having y'all look real tiny and then be looking at the same screen all the time. So So I'm not getting an inbox. So I'm assuming that we are a go. However, it's not too late to kid. You can still inbox me and say, nope, it's not advancing. All right, here we go. So let's talk about developing your speaking muscle. Okay, and there are several sections that we're going to talk about because now we have, and the screen should say developing your speaking muscle. Okay, don't see it. Okay, escape. Okay, can you see it now, Nakia? Developing your speaking muscle. Let me know before I keep going. Okay, very good. So apparently, it doesn't like when I put it on full screen. So I think I got it now. Okay, here we go. All right. So developing your speaking muscle. So we have built our platform. We have our opt-in offer. We have our signature speech written. We have our website with our opt-in connected to it. We have a blog post. Blog for people to read more about what we have to say, our message. We know who our ideal client is. We know what we're offering them, why we're offering it to them. We have done a lot in these last few weeks. So now we have all that foundation under us. It's time to start thinking about our presence on the stage and what that looks like. So developing your speaking muscle. First of all, overall, and what you have to make sure that you understand is that speaking is controlling the room. It's going to be all eyes on you. It's all about you, not in an arrogant sense, but you are the one who's bringing the transformation at this point. It is all about you. All eyes on you, all ears on you, or at least it should be that way. So let's talk about these various areas. First of all, stage presence. You want to show up authentically, okay? Which means you want to be the same person on the stage that they see off the stage, okay? You don't want to, so for example, everybody knows that I am loud, I love to laugh, I love to crack jokes, I try to be a very personable human being, okay? So if I show up to an event and I'm like, hi, my name is Ebony L. Trust. You must say the L because it's sexy. And y'all will be like, what? That is not Ebony L. Will you please stop playing? Something must have happened, right? That I would not be authentic at all. I would not be authentic. I can't be on Periscope all whoop whoop, on Facebook Live whoop whoop, in the CSA session whoop whoop, then get on stage. My name is Ebony L. It won't work. That's not being authentic. Okay, so make sure that from beginning to end you are authentic. You are true to yourself. Notice I said true to yourself, not true to anybody else. True to yourself and who you are. And we've talked about how, from the very beginning, we've been talking about how it's not up to you to be anybody else. It's not up to you to be Lisa Nichols or to be John Maxwell or to be Les Brown. You can only be you, and you should only be you. Okay? So stage presence. Then you're opening. Now, last module, I touched on it a little bit. I'm going to go into more detail today because I felt like I didn't give you the juice on your opening and your closing, so I kind of added that in today to kind of give you another perspective, another way of looking at it. Okay. So, but your opening, you can do it in a couple different ways. But your opening is probably the most important part of your speech. It is the most important part. So you want to put a lot of thought into how you open. Okay? All right. I'm going to come back to that. Dip theory, we already talked about in the last module, where you take your listeners on the journey that you went on, understanding that they're starting here in their lives. They're starting here, and that's where you started. You're taking them down into your place, your low place, whatever that was for you, and where they probably are right now. And then you're guiding them and showing them what their next level of transformation looks like. So what you're doing and what you're going to be offering fills the gap that's right here. If you can come on that visual with me, it fills the gap that's right here. So we talked about dip theory. Lisa Nichols coined that. I love dip theory because it allows you to show your humanity. It allows you the opportunity to, it allows your audience the opportunity to see you in a light that says, okay, this is not too far from me. I can actually achieve this. I have a real life example. So dip theory is important. Now, room control. Room control means that you are paying attention to the room, okay? You are looking around. You are seeing who's tweeting and who's really just texting or scrolling through Facebook, right? You're looking to see who's agreeing with you and got that interested expression, and those who are like, right? And those who are giving you that look like, I wish you a hush, or you ain't telling the truth. Things like that. You're watching. You have got to pay attention to the room, okay? Before you, now, I think I touched on this. I was having a conversation. So here, I've seen it done two different ways. There are some speakers who you don't see them until it's time for them to hit the stage. And, they enter however they enter, but you don't ever see them, ever hear from them on the day they are supposed to speak until it's time for them to speak. They're almost like tucked away, right? I understand the thought process behind that. I totally get it. But then there are other speakers who, before they actually speak, before the actual, event gets started, they are mingling, okay? They're talking it up. They're shaking hands. They're hugging people. They're kissing babies. They're taking selfies. They're getting to know their audience, okay? I understand that. Totally get that, okay? There are kind of two different schools of thought on that, right? I personally gravitate more toward the mix and mingle, okay? What I like to do is, I guess I kind of mix the two. So when I'm not on the stage, or like, for example, if it's like a 2-day thing, right? And I'm not speaking the first day, or I'm not speaking first, then I want to mix and mingle. I want to kiss babies. I want to hug necks. I want to take, I don't really want to take selfies, but I will take selfies. I'm not a picture person, but I will take selfies. I want to talk to people. I want to hear their stories. I want to know why they came to the event. At the same time, I also, just before I take the stage, I like to pray because I want to get Holy Spirit's mind on it. I want to know, is there any other insight that I need to be having, God? Is there anything, are there any spiritual gifts that you want to have in operation through me during this time? But I got to be quiet just before I hit the stage, so I can't mix and mingle at that time. So I kind of have a mixture of the two, I guess. But all in all, I think the best way to have room control is to be in the room. At some point, like, you need to be in the room at some point, okay? Because you can only control the room if you know what's in it and who's in it. Right? So you can't just show up and be like, oh, okay, I'm speaking today, and you hadn't even walked the place to kind of see logistically where things are sitting and that kind of thing. You want to you want to be able to have the energy of the people in the room, because you may need to change the energy. If you got a room full of folks like this, then you're going to definitely have to change the energy, or you'll be incredibly intimidated. Okay, and we can't have that. Okay, so, and then too, when you talk to people, you and you find out their why, you can almost, you know how you may have heard like sometimes pastors as they're ministering, they'll like say a person's name who's in the audience or whatever, because they want to identify and kind of, you know what I'm saying, you when you have room control and when you have been talking to people and you've been mingling, then you have the opportunity. You know, I talked to Shawana before I started speaking, and she would share with me X, Y, and Z. And I thought that was a great question because yada, yada, yada. So you kind of bring that relationship in at the same time. Okay. Again, you need to watch people's body language. Okay. And you want to help create body language. So hey, raise your hand if you've ever felt this way. You know what? Reach over and high five your neighbor if they have whatever the case may be, right? Give me a shout, woo! Like you want to have them up doing something, okay? You want to have that, again, especially if you understand and recognize that there is a need for it in the atmosphere, okay? Again, speaking is controlling the room. Then your closing, which we'll go into more detail in a couple of slides, okay? Then seeding and making an offer, okay? We talked about this a little bit during sales. Well, a whole lot during the sales module, right? So seeding, what it means to seed is when you drop nuggets about what you're going to be offering, okay? So, for example, if you are on the stage and you're doing your speech and you say, and as a part of my VIP day experience, I do this, this, and this. And VIP days are good because this, and this, right? So you're seeding so that when it comes time for you to make your offer, whatever wording you're using is not new to your audience. They've been hearing VIP day, VIP experience, VIP day, opportunity, the length of your talk, so it's not brand new. As a matter of fact, you're planting the seed of, I wonder what that VIP day with Erica is all about. I wonder, let me go check with her after she gets done talking. Okay, you're putting that seed in their mind, and in preparation of making the offer, you want to compel them. Okay, so when you're making your offer, you want to explain what it is you're offering. You want to tell them the other benefits, the advantage of it, and how much it is. Okay, so just really quickly, at the same time, you want there to be a sense of urgency. Now, you want to and you need to, and to be an all-star speaker, you have to stay in integrity. Okay, so I have my 3-month mentorship program available, but listen, I only have 5 spots. And as a part of this one-on-one mentorship opportunity, you work with me, I work with you side by side, and we plan out your revenue wheel, we plan out your product offerings, we plan out how you're going to market your product. We go through these things together step by step, but because it is such a high touch opportunity, I only have room for 5 people who are ready, who say, you know what, I'm tired of trying to figure this out by myself. I absolutely know that I need to hitch to the caboose of somebody who has it going on, and I know I need that level of accountability that says I need to meet with Ebony every other week. If that's you and you're one of my 5, your investment is $9.97. Raise your hand for me. If that's you, raise your hand. If that's you, if you know that you are ready for this opportunity and you want to be one of those 5, raise your hand. Okay, those of you who have raised your hand, go ahead quickly. Excuse me. See Kathy in the back at my table. She'll get you all hooked up. She'll get you signed up. She'll get you ready because I'm ready to serve you at that level. Okay, so that's making an offer. But see, here's the thing. I have been seeding one-on-one mentorship, the whole speech. The conversation and tone and topic of the speech lends itself to one-on-one mentorship. Okay, so I'm not going to be talking about, I don't know. I'm not going to be talking about how to write a cookbook, and then here I go with one-on-one mentorship talking about your revenue and your product creation. See what I'm saying? So there again, you make the offer, you tell them the advantages of it, and then how much the investment is. And I think I got ahead of myself. I got excited. Okay. Then your revenue goal. Every time you have or book a speaking engagement, you want to have a revenue goal. You want to know already ahead of time how much money you intend to generate. Okay. So we'll talk about that in a minute. So it's kind of like a bit of an overview, but at the same time, it is, well, let me see something. Hold on. Let me see if I have any questions. Hold on. Why is this even up? Lord have mercy. Okay, done. Close. iCloud, you are messing up my presentation right now, and that's not cool. Okay. Do I have any questions? It's not. Okay, cool. Okay, all right, here we go. How to start your speech. Again, in the last, come on, thing. In the last module, I felt like I needed to like give you some more. Okay, so how to start. Important to note, you have 7 seconds to gain trust. So from the moment that you hit the stage, actually, from the moment starting when whoever is introducing you and you get up to walk or you start walking, your 7 seconds to start. So that's why we had to have the conversation about your brand persona, because they're looking at how you are dressed, how you walk, what kind of shoes you have on, how your hair is done. That's why it was important to have that conversation. Because in those 7 seconds, they're trying to determine, are you a crook? Do you really know what you're talking about? Are those real Christian Louboutins that you're... there are all kind of thoughts that run through. Think about it. The last time you went to some event and you watched the person come up on stage, you had some thoughts going through your head as you were looking at them, good or bad, positive or negative. You had some thoughts. You had some, okay? So now it's going to be you in that place. And you want to make sure that you are able to gain their trust in that 7 seconds. Then 30 seconds beyond that, they decide whether or not they are going to listen to you or they're not going to listen to you. All right? So your opening needs to be original. It needs to be unexpected. And it needs to be powerful. I was telling, I was over the weekend, I was speaking and attending Global Wealth Leaders Live in Atlanta, and riding in between. I don't know why I was riding, but anyway, and I was talking to my my team, and I was saying how long time ago, when I was in high school, Montel Williams at that time was a motivational speaker. This was before the talk show, before the payday loan commercial. Montel Williams was a motivational speaker. And he spoke at my high school, and I still, to this day, remember his opening. He was off stage, had the lavalier, the lapel mic on, and before you saw him, you heard his voice say, "Mountain, get out of my way." You couldn't see him, but you heard him. "Mountain, get out of my way." Then he come walking out. "Mountain, get out of my..." I get chill bumps now thinking about it. "Mountain, get out of my way." And his whole talk was was about overcoming obstacles. But he let us know from the beginning, here's the attitude that you have to have. And now all these, that was what, 1993 or 94? So all these years later, I still remember that powerful opening. That's how important it is for you to grab your audience at the beginning of your speech. Because you could very well say something that sticks with a person for 20 years. Now, that is the privilege that we have as speakers. And that is the reason why what we do is so important. It is absolutely a privilege that people exchange their time for your message. This ain't no plaything. Okay, so here are some options. Tell a personal story to start. Prove that you're interested. That will get them in that 30 seconds. And it has to be, well, it doesn't have to be, but when you start with a story, it definitely needs to be interesting. But it needs to be on topic. Okay? Ask a thought-provoking question. That's probably my favorite. I like to have people thinking because I don't want it to be all my idea. That's the primary reason. Okay, so when you ask a thought-provoking question, you push for them to participate with their minds. Okay, or you can make a powerful statement like Montel Williams, so you can trigger an emotion that connects them. That needs to be done within that 30 seconds. That has to be done within that 30 seconds. Very, very, very important. Okay? Now, how to end your speech. The way that you end your speech is what stays on your audience's mind. Okay? The close of your speech accounts for 10 to 15% of the whole speech. So, for example, a 7-minute speech should have a 1-minute close. Talking about, well, I'll come back to that. It needs to be short, it needs to be effective, and it needs to be memorable. You can do a striking story, which means this needs to be the best story of the speech. It needs to be even better than the opening story. Les Brown is excellent at that. A memorable quote, something specific and relevant, and it can be personal or from a well-known person. I'm not real big on quotes because they're everywhere, and I feel like we have become inundated with quotes. And so I kind of think it's kind of played, but you may like the whole quote thing. So go with the quote thing. If you believe that the quote serves the best to keep a certain thought on your audience's mind, then go with the quote. I just personally think that they are kind of played, but that's just me. Okay? Then your call to action. Now, this is how I would want you to end. And you can build a story around your product offering. You can even build your quote around your product offering. But I believe that everything that you do, whether it is written or verbal, needs to have a call to action. Okay? To the product or program that you are offering in that particular setting. Okay? Now going back. Talking about Global Wealth Leaders Live, Noah St. John, the author of the book of Affirmations, was a speaker. And I was a little disappointed with Noah. Hadn't ever heard him speak before. Have read portions of his book, have suggested or assigned the book to a couple of my mentorees, but I've never listened to him speak before. Y'all, Noah's call to action, his pitch, He had 1 hour to speak, right? His pitch was about 20 minutes. I started falling asleep on Noah, literally. My team was like, I mean, y'all, it was like suspended animation. I was like, and I'm sitting like right there. He completely lost me because he kept saying the same thing over and over again, and he was just restating it a different way. He took too long for his close. His close may have been about 25 to 30% of his actual talk. It was bad. It was very bad. Don't be Noah St. John. It was very bad. Okay? All right. Now, let's go here. Now, this I learned from my former coach, April Frankson, the booking document. Okay? And this is very, very important. So here's what I want you to be thinking about and what I want you to write in your notes. Okay? I want you to write in your notes that I think I have it on one of my slides, but that you need to create a folder on your hard drive of your computer that says booking documents. Ideally, you should have a folder on your computer that says Converse Speakers Academy. And in that folder, all the pieces of the action guide, things that are relevant to CSA. But if not, if you do, then put this booking documents folder inside that CSA folder. But if you don't, then just have this booking documents folder, okay? And in that folder, as you are creating your documents, you're going to save them to that folder for easy access. You don't ever want to waste time trying to find something. Okay, somebody inboxed me last week and asked me to come speak. I wasted no time, no problem. I will forward to you my booking inquiry form, fill it out, and my team will get back to you. Simple as that, because I already had my booking documents in order. We don't want for somebody to inbox you or call you and say, hey, can you come speak here next week? And you're like, okay, what do I do? Let me inbox Ebony because I don't know what to do next. Yes, you do, because you're going to go straight to your booking documents folder and you're going to pull out what you need. Here we go. Speaking is a business, and your goal is to get what? Booked. That is your goal. Your goal is to get booked and be booked as often as you would like to be. Okay? So here are the 3 essential documents. Number 1, a speaker one sheet. A speaker one sheet. Now, right now, I don't want you to just try to be all fancy with the whole doodah. Okay? With your speaker sheet, you are going to have on it your bio, which speaks to the audience. It needs to be 1 page. Okay? You're going to have your bio that speaks to the audience, speaks to the event planner, okay, speaks to the person who is looking for somebody to come speak for their event, okay? That's what your bio is going to speak to, all right? It's not going to be like a resume. That's not what we're doing. So this is not all the jobs you had. No, it's just a simple bio, okay? If you have an existing website and you have a bio on your website, that one will probably work. Okay? All right? It should also have a nice picture of you. Not a selfie in the bathroom, which you guys are all world class, so I'm not worried about that. But if you don't have a professional photo, a professional headshot, then you can just use a nice picture of yourself that you've taken on your smartphone. Not a big deal. However, it shouldn't be obvious, like with your arm like that. Okay? So, you know, it needs to be professional looking. Now, for those of you who do not have a professional headshot, you want to get one at your earliest opportunity. Okay? I'm thinking about doing I'm thinking through, because I've already decided to do it, but I'm thinking through a level of CSA that allows you to get all that done, to get your headshot, to get your speaker sheet together, to get your website, like all at one time in one place. I'm thinking through that. But either way, you're going to need to, did you catch that seating? You're going to need to go ahead eventually and get a headshot done professionally. And if you already have professional headshots, you need to get new ones about every 6 months. Okay? About every 6 months. Absolutely. Okay. So your speaker one sheet should have your bio. It should have a nice picture of you. It should have the name of your signature talk and a short description of the benefits that the listeners will get as a result of the talk. Okay? It should be in color. And you really can create this yourself. Just use a nice font for your name. Put your pic, like you can actually create it in Word. Okay? Nice font for your name, a picture. Or if you are one of those people who will spend 3 days on it because you are a perfectionist and it just has to be just so, then go on Fiverr and get somebody to do it for $5. Please, this shouldn't take you more than an hour. And if it does, go on Fiverr, or I will find you and pinch you for taking all day on this. Okay? So, if you do it in Word, that's fine. Save it as a PDF because you don't want people to be able to go in and change it. Okay? So, save it as a PDF. Make it in Word, save it as a Word document, and then save it as a PDF as well. And then upload the PDF to your booking document. And you can also upload the Word document so that you can find it when it's time to change it. You can find it easily. But when you get ready to send your speaker one sheet to people to book you or to people who are interested in booking you, do not send the Word document, send the PDF because you don't want them to be able to change what you have. Okay, so you can either send it directly to them or you can upload it to like Dropbox and send a link to it. Okay, then your speaking inquiry form. That's what I posted in the group before our session tonight. Okay, and your speaking inquiry form just has basic questions about the engagement and the audience. Because here's the thing, you want to show up properly. You got to get all the information you need to be able to show up properly. How many people will be there? What types of people will be there? Is it all men? Is it all women? Is it a mixture? Are these children? What's the age group? That kind of thing. All the pertinent questions that are necessary. And you can create this as a Google document, which makes it easy to see. I told you guys, when I got that inbox, I just shot over the link to the Google Doc. She said she got it. Boom, there it is. Really quick and easy. No need to try to do anything extra, just the Google Doc. Okay? And you can send the link to the event planner, or if somebody calls you and you're talking to them about it, you can pull it up yourself and fill it in. Ask them the questions, you or, like somebody on your team can pull it up and they can fill it in as they're asking. Like they can literally ask the people the questions and fill it in right there in the Google Doc. And what's cool, if you aren't familiar about Google Docs, is number one, it's absolutely free. The Google suite of services is free. Bless God. Okay, it's free. But the responses you can have saved to an Excel spreadsheet. So that you can then be able to keep up with all your speaking engagements. You can follow up easily if they're having another event, things like that. You have all their information, excuse me, right there in the one document for easy access. Okay. So again, I have mine posted in the group as an example. You don't have to use mine word for word, but you do have to create your own. Okay? So you have to create your speaking inquiry form. And you're going to have that access like a Word document with the link to it in your booking document folder on your computer. Okay? And you have to have a contract. Never, ever, ever do you ever take a formal speaking engagement without a contract. Now, if you're at some place and somebody's like, oh my gosh, there is Nakia, and she is an expert in Nakia P. Evans, the authenticity expert, and Nakia, will you just come and give us a couple words? That's an impromptu extemporaneous speech. But because she has her signature talk down to 5, was it? Let me see. It was what? It was 5. Was it 10? No, it was 10 minutes. What did we say last time? 10 minutes, 30 minutes, and 45 minutes. Thank you, Erica. 10 minutes, 30 minutes, and 45 minutes. She can grab those 10 minutes. She can shorten her signature talk into those 10 minutes and rock the doggone mic. Right? Because she's ready. But ordinarily, that's not what's going to happen. You're going to have somebody contact you to come speak. So you want to have a contract that details your requirements. Whatever those requirements are, from the top to the bottom, okay? It needs to be a maximum of 2 pages, right? Because we aren't John Maxwell or Les Brown or Lisa Nichols yet. So we don't need a 25-page contract. 2 pages is enough. And you want to have the option to waive your fee. And we'll talk about why in a few minutes. You want to have the option there to waive your fee. And they can initial it and go from there. Okay, so so what I want you to do is I want you to Google speaking contracts. And I want you to look at several of them and then kind of see. This was an activity that I had to do, and I thought it was good because it gave me the opportunity to see what different people were doing and whether or not I should consider it and what's good for who I am and my business and my brand and what makes sense to me, as opposed to just seeing one person and say, okay, I'll just use theirs, because their brand's fingerprint may not be anywhere near mine, right? So when you Google different contracts and you pull this from that one and pull that from that one, then it kind of gives you the opportunity to make the contract fit your brand's fingerprints. I thought it was a good activity, so I wanted to share it with you guys and have you guys do it. So when you put your contract together, you're going to Google several speaking contracts, look at them, weigh them against your brand's footprint, and then put yours together. And as a Word document, save it as a PDF, and then upload it to your booking documents folder. Okay? All right. If you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. And in a second, I will, after I do negotiating your fee, I'll look at questions so I won't get too far. Well, let me go ahead. Well, put questions in. I'll give you time to type, and then I'll come back. Okay. Negotiating your fee. I said before that you want to have the option of waiving your fee. Okay? So there are 2 ways to get paid as a speaker. Either fee only or having the ability to make an offer. Okay? We never speak for free. Never, ever, ever. Okay? So if you don't get a fee and you need the fee, then your other option is to make an offer from the stage, which means you are offering your product, your program, or your service which means you are still getting paid. Okay? We never, ever, ever speak for free. You never accept a speaking engagement where they cannot or will not pay you and you cannot make an offer from the stage. That's not a win-win situation. Okay? Now, I mentioned revenue goal before. You need to have an overall revenue goal for this portion of your business. For the speaking portion of your business, what is the revenue that you want to make in a given time for like a year? Okay? Over the course of a year, or for example, the last quarter of 2016, how much revenue do you want to generate from just your speaking? So you need an overall revenue goal, but you also need a per engagement revenue goal. Now, you get the per engagement revenue goal by dividing the overall goal by the number of speaking engagements you would like to have, for example, in that quarter. Okay, that's how you get your per engagement revenue goal. And again, it's either via a fee that they pay you and you don't make an offer, or you waive the fee because you have the ability to make an offer from the stage. Now, the average closing rate from the stage is 10%. Okay, so for example, if you are speaking before a room of 30 people, you need to close at least 3. Okay, at least 3 people when you make your offer. So think about it like that. The average close is 10%. Most of the time, most of the time, books, like I can okay. All right, Nakia, no problem. Most of the time, books are hot sellers because people like books. They like getting books, right? So it's important that if you are an author, that wherever you go to speak, you have some of your books there. You should, if you are an author, you should never, ever, ever, ever accept a speaking engagement without copies of your book to sell, period. Because people will get your book just because you're there and you can sign it. I mean, really, a lot of times, that's what happens. Like, you may not have even spoken yet, but they see your book and they'll get it because they want it autographed. I had somebody who bought both copies of A Fabulous New Life and The Significance Factor. This McAfee gets on my nerves. And The Significance Factor, and she had me autograph it, and she put them in Ziploc bags. I don't even know if she read the doggone book. She put them in Ziploc bags because she said, Ebony, when you become famous, like show enough famous, this is going to be worth something. And I want to have them in perfect condition. But people, so as you can see, I said that to say, as you can see, people will get your book for some very weird reasons. Some regular reasons and then some weird reasons. So make sure that you have copies available, okay? Because sometimes you'll sell more books than anything, okay? Now, you have to decide if you are going to speak for a fee or if you're going to speak with the ability to make an offer. Because sometimes, a lot of times, product sales can be way more lucrative. Imagine you are in that same room of 30 people, right? And you have your product that's $9.97. And you took the speaking engagement and they paid you $1,000 to do it, okay? You get in the room, 30 people are there. They're like, oh my gosh, yes. And they walk up after it, and they're like, listen. 3 people walk up after it. Listen, help me. You got what I need. I need you to let me be a part of whatever you're doing. Well, by taking the fee, you have agreed not to make an offer. You can't sell anything. So now you have this product that's $9.97. You got 3 people chomping at the bit, ready right now. That's $3,000 that you could have generated as opposed to the $1,000 taking the fee. So you kind of have to weigh it out. And that's one of the questions that you need, well, 2 of the questions that you need to have on your booking inquiry fee. You need to know if they have a budget and how much it is. And you also need to know if you can set up a product table and or make an offer from the stage. These are questions that you got to have the answer to before you say yes. Because you're going to be real mad if you take the fee and then you wow the room and people ready to buy whatever you have and you can't sell nothing. So you have to weigh that. You really have to weigh that. And it probably needs to be a per engagement kind of decision. Okay? But you can negotiate both. You can negotiate to opting the fee to make an offer from the stage. Most people, most speakers, that's what they opt to do because you can sell yourself a whole lot better. Most of the time, for fee opportunities are like corporate kind of things. Like if you speak for Sprint or, for Verizon or for Charter, and you come and do like a training with their teams, whatever, that's usually like a flat fee because it's corporate. It's business, like straight-laced business. Okay, so chances are, because the organization hired you or the entity hired you, they're not going to want you to come in and necessarily do a coaching program or whatever. It could happen, but 9 times out of 10, that's not how the chips are going to fall. Okay, so just kind of be thinking about it in that way when you're thinking through your fee. Okay, all right. Let me go and see if there are any questions because I promised I would. Okay. Hey, Deidre. Okay, Erica, you asked, how do you do that? What was I talking about at the time? Let me know. Let me see if there are any questions. I don't think I have any questions. Okay, no questions. Okay, so Erica, tell me what I was talking about at the time when you asked, how do you do that? Let me know so I can help you out. I hope my slides have been advancing because I'm looking at this same thing right here. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll come back, Erica. Put in there what I was talking about so I can help you out. Oh, okay, good. Yay! Okay, cool. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, let's go back. Okay, here we go. Okay, post-stage activity. So you rock the mic, then you drop the mic. Woo! You rock the mic, then you drop the mic. You came on down off the stage, or you walked from the front of the room, wherever you are. This is post-stage now. Post-stage means after the speech. It's the time as soon as you step off the platform. Here's what, hey, here we go. This is what, baby? This showtime part 2 right here. This showtime part 2. Okay? The post-stage activity. These are things that you need to know ahead of time. I have forgotten this information multiple times, and it has cost me. And I have kicked myself in the behind because I did not do these things, or I missed certain parts of them. Okay, this is very important things that you got to think about after you accept the speech. Excuse me. Goodness. Excuse me. After things, you got to think about after you say yes to the opportunity and you have the contract, but before you actually grab the mic. Okay, post-stage activity. Here we go. Number 1, what or who is on your team? If you don't need a team, little children don't get big. Baby, you need a team. I cannot tell you how indispensable my team has been for me. When you are shaking hands, kissing babies, high-fiving folks, they telling you how great it was, you don't have time to run credit cards for programs, to get people to fill out sales forms. You don't have time to sell books. You don't have time. You need people there to support you. And the people that you need are people who are already championing your cause, your message, and who you are. When I was in Panama City Beach speaking, right before we ended the second session, when my mentoree Alicia was like, listen, remember that book I was telling y'all about that I stayed up all night and read? She had some. Y'all need this book. It is amazing. It was, I mean, she went out, and I was like, for real, I had no idea that she was going to do that. And I mean, they went out the door, people buying 2 and 3 and 4 copies. You want to have, and while I was autographing, while I was taking selfies, I had my girl on this side who was running cards. I didn't have to think about it. I could still engage my audience. I could still love on them. I could still do all the great stuff that comes with speaking, because I had a team. Now imagine if it was just me, and I gotta set up all my table, I gotta break down my table, I gotta do all this stuff and run cards and autograph books and enroll folks in programs. That's not a good customer experience at all. That's not what you want to happen. So you need, and what kind of tech do you need? Are you going to have your smartphone that has your Square hooked up to it? Or I have PayPal Here app. Are you going to have your smartphone? Are you going to have your tablet, your iPad? How are people going to enroll? Are you going to have an order form there, or will you pull it up on a laptop online for them to enroll? How are you going to have that? What's on your team? Okay? You need an assistant. And you need an assistant for every 15 to 20 people who are going to be in the audience. Yes, I said it. You need one assistant for every 15 to 20 people that are going to be in the audience. So that's a question that needs to go on the booking inquiry form. How many people are you expecting? So that you'll know how many folks to bring with you. And it doesn't have to be people who are paid staff. You could bring your niece, like a college student or a high school senior who has a good head on his or her shoulders. Okay? Somebody who champions your message. Somebody who is familiar with what you do, who can tell people more information about the product or service that they're interested in. Somebody who has read your book and thinks it's absolutely phenomenal. Okay, these are the folks that you need on your team. I remember I took my niece one time, and she's a very outgoing young lady. So I was shocked. I took her to an event one time to be a part of my sales team. I told her, all I'm selling this time is books. I just need you to be there. You know what I'm saying? Make sure the books get sold, hype it up, that kind of thing. I'm sitting there. I mean, I'm walking around, and she's just sitting there. Folks walking over, looking at the book. She didn't looking at them. Like, she didn't even speak unless they spoke to her. She completely froze. So I had to ease on back to my book table. No. So then I just let her take the money, and I just stayed at my table. Because I was not going to sell nothing. So you want to have somebody who is willing. They have to be willing. And you have to put them in the places where they best fit. So really what I should have had my niece doing was recording the talk, not selling books. She's great with a camera. That was my mistake. So whoever you bring, make sure that if they're not willing to talk, if they're not an upbeat person, don't have them at your table. Have them on the sit up and break down crew. Don't put them in front of people because you won't sell nothing and you'll be concerned about what's going on. Okay? So who and what is on your team? Second, what products and programs are you going to offer? They need to be in alignment with the conversation that you're having in your speech and the overall theme of the event. Okay? Be very clear about what you're offering. Okay? However, do not create a new program for each event. You don't have to do that. Okay? You just need to repurpose what you have to fit the audience that you're going in front of. Now, that should be easy because you're going to stay in your lane. If you're not an expert on sales and marketing, you're not going to find yourself on a stage to talk about sales and marketing, right? So because you're going to stay in your lane, this shouldn't be difficult. Even if you have to just rename it for this particular audience, you do not need to recreate the product. You do not need to recreate the product. Do not. That will be a waste of time. Make sure that they'll get the same result, but just change the name. Package it differently. Okay? Then an activity sheet. So you want to keep up with your numbers. Now, I have this saved as an Excel spreadsheet in my folder, okay? And you want to have tabs like your total revenue. Once you start building out your programs and you have more than one product or program, so you might have, for some of you all, you're going to have a book. You're going to have one informational product that's tied to your book, and then one additional informational product that's tied to your speech. So you're going to come out of CSA, those of you who are authors, you're going to come out, excuse me, of CSA with 3 products. That is so cool, okay, right? So you can separate it by product and program under that tab of total revenue. So if you're speaking and you're taking your book and you are going to offer the program attached to your book, then however much you sell of that product, you'll put that total under that product's name in your activity sheet. Okay? Then you're going to record how many people were there. You're going to record what you sold. You're going to record the total amount that you made. So you may have program sales. You may have book sales. You want to record all of that. And integrity says that if you sell anything cash, that you still record it in Square, in PayPal, and whatever you use. And send people a receipt. If you don't write one out, send it to them via text, email. You can do that with Square. You can do that with PayPal. Integrity says you give people a receipt even when they pay cash. That's integrity. And as an all-star speaker, you speak and operate and move and bob and weave with integrity. Okay? All right. The total amount that you made, and then did you get any additional speaking engagement? Right? So hopefully that happens. Somebody comes up, oh my gosh, Sandra, that was amazing. Listen, I'm having an event next week. Can you come? Can you share again on this topic? Well, absolutely. Let me send you my booking form right quick. Send. Okay, did you get it? In your email? Check your email. You got, okay, good. Fill that out and let's talk. That's what an all-star speaker does. Baby, right there. Absolutely. Then you get on your activity sheet and you record. Did you book 2 more speaking engagements? 4 more? or you may not book any. It's okay because you made some money. And you have your name now in people's minds because you had a powerful opening, you had gave a powerful talk, and you had a powerful close. And you move them to or toward their next level of transformation. Okay? All right? Then you need a way to collect leads. Listen. If you don't have people to talk, and I learned this the hard way, if you don't have people to talk to, you can't sell nothing and you can't book more speaking engagements. So you have to collect leads and you have to do it some type of way. Now, there are different ways to do it. As techie as text Ebony L to 31313. If you want to pay for that service, you can. And you can have it up on the screen. You can tell people, yeah, do it like that. Or as low tech as having a sign-in sheet that has name, email, and phone number on your table. You could even, because you have MailChimp now or some other CRM, you can even pull up a landing page, turn your laptop around or hand them your smartphone or tablet and let them put it in themselves and hit send or hit subscribe. There it is. There are many different ways, but you need to collect leads. Every single person who walks up to your table, you should not walk away without having given you their information. And because you have an opt-in now, that's easy. You can say, hey, listen, I'm giving away my free top 10 list of whatever. Go to this web. Everybody take out your smartphone right out. Put your smartphone out, and I want you to go to ShawannaTMac.com, and you can pick up my 10 ways to live stress-free, how to live a stress-free life. Go ahead and grab it. I'll give you 20 seconds right now to grab it. See why all that stuff was important first? Why are we not speaking yet? Ha 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 ha. Okay, so collecting leads. You have to have a way to collect leads. Think about how will I get these names, emails, and phone numbers. Okay, one thing I love to do with people who have bought my book, I've been kind of slack here lately, but when I first started doing it, I would inbox them or call them and say, hey, how'd you like the book? What was your biggest takeaway? Because for me, the significance factor is a book that I know if people do the work, it will change everything. I don't want people to just buy my book just to support me or, just to say they got it. I want them to read it, highlight it, write in it, dog ear it, tell people. I want them to do the work of the book. So it's important to me to follow up with them. So I gotta have leads. I gotta know who bought my book or who's buying my book. Okay? Then follow up. Oh my gosh. In network marketing, they say the fortune is in the follow-up, and that's true. It is a must. So when you know you're going to speak, you go into MailChimp, you create automation for this particular audience, and you go ahead and put your thank you, it was great meeting you email in MailChimp, and you link it to this list, right? And you set it to send. Not send it, but set it. Go through the whole process and set it. Or you can just wait and just set it up, set the email up. Oh my gosh, it was great to meet you at the Global Wealth Leaders Lab event. What was your biggest takeaway? Hit reply and tell me what was your biggest takeaway. Now, of course, it won't be that short because you want to, put your elevator pitch in there and stuff like that to remind them of who you are. But at the end, you want to say, hey, hit reply and tell me what your biggest takeaway was. Then when they come to your table and you turn that laptop around or you give them that tablet and they go to that page, then they instantly get that email saying welcome. Okay. Now they got whole new list. Or that's if you don't have your opt-in ready. If your opt-in is ready, they're going to get that opt-in. Absolutely. Okay? So think about how you're going to follow up. All right? If you have questions, go ahead and put them in because I'm about to wrap up and I'm taking all my time today. I'm doing a whole hour and a half. Okay? Next steps. Told you about the folder. So you're going to create and save your speaker one sheet in the folder. Create your booking inquiry. Pull the link and put it in a Word document and save the Word document in the speaking folder. Excuse me, in the booking folder. So when you get that inbox saying, hey, can you come speak? I sure can. Let me pull up this document, copy, paste, boom, there it is. Okay? Then you're going to find, edit, and save your speaking contract. Any resources that you find online, and you say, oh my gosh, this is a great contract to pull from. Post it in the group, okay? Help your fellow CSAers out, okay? And then, excuse me, create and save your method. I spelled tracking wrong. Your method of tracking your post-stage sales and numbers. Whether you decide to use an Excel spreadsheet, whether you just want to write it out on paper, whether you want to create a Word document where you can actually write or type in the Word document as you're sitting there. However you want to track it, you need to track your numbers. That is a mistake that I have made more than one time, and it hurts. You want to be able to track your post-stage sales and numbers. You absolutely do. It is very difficult to legitimize your speaking practice when you don't have numbers. Okay? That's important. Okay, let me check and see if there are any questions. No questions. Ooh, I'm doing great. Okay, here we go. All right, so 7-day challenge. Whee! All right, here we go. Between now and next Tuesday, here is what you're gonna do. Yay. First of all, you're going to record yourself doing your signature talk. Do a 5-minute version. Okay? So that means you have your powerful opening, your first story, your one content bridge, and your close. Or you can do better, your opening, your powerful piece of content, a story that connects it, and your closing. Okay, couple things to remember. You want the light in front of you, not behind you, because that casts a shadow. So you want the light in front of you, and you want to have your camera at eye level. Even if you just use your smartphone, you want to have it at eye level, because if you have it down here, you'll look really fat. If you have it up here, you look really odd. Okay, so have it at eye level. You're going to upload it to YouTube and then post the link to it in the Converse Speakers Academy group. Now remember, you're taking into account all the things that we talked about. My goal was to be able to compare your pre-CSA video to your post-CSA video, but not everybody has done their pre-work video. So I may have a difficult time doing that. So all y'all who have not done your pre-work video, until you do right by me. So you're going to upload it to YouTube and then post the link in the CSA group. Now, as you see links coming in, you want to watch people's videos. Okay? You want to watch their videos and then give constructive feedback. Tell them what you loved about it. Tell them what they can improve. Okay? And then others will do the same for you. They'll give you constructive feedback. Then I want you to book a speaking gig or workshop for next month. Yay! Okay, so you're going to reach out to people who are hosting things. Or you can establish your own platform. You can call the library and book a room and host a class. You can speak at your church. You can speak at a local school, wherever your audience is. It doesn't have to be some big old event that's happening, in London. Don't think like that. It's just a speaking gig, a speaking opportunity for next month, okay? For next month, for October, for next month, okay? Then, once you get that done, you're going to post it as a hashtag win in the group. And you're going to post the date that it's happening, who is hosting it, or even if it's you, and then how many people they are expecting. So it's time to start announcing that you are a speaker for hire. Yay! It's time to start announcing that you are a speaker for hire. Those of you who are authors and have books, that can be your product when you go. Now you're going to establish your product using the action guide, but still you have your book. Okay? So this is your 7-day challenge. And yes, I totally expect you to get it done in 7 days. Because it's not hard. At the most, in 7 days. In 7 days. No. Because some of y'all, if I give you an inch, you'll take a mile. 7 days. Between now and this time next week. 7 full days. Okay? And here is your challenge. All right. Let me see if there are any questions. So let me shrink that. And okay, any questions for me? We go down here. No questions on there. Okay, any questions? I answered Erica's question. Any other questions for me? Are you guys ready for the 7-day challenge?
Your husband is attempting to reach you on your cellular device.
Oh my gosh. No questions? Are you guys typing slowly? Any questions about the challenge? Are you guys ready for the challenge? No, don't answer that. Don't answer that. Are you excited about the challenge? Are you guys still here? Can you hear me? Are you excited about the challenge? Yes, it's good. That's what I want to do. I want to stretch it. Shawana, quit tripping. You ready? I don't know why you tripping. Y'all, Shawana had the opportunity to address our church congregation about an event that she is helping to execute. She was like an old pro. I was so proud of Shawana. She didn't seem nervous or anything. It's been a couple months ago, but she didn't seem nervous or anything. I was so proud of her. Yes. All right. Is that your signature talk? Because remember, you're recording your signature talk that you started writing in the last, or that you should have written in the last module. So between 2 weeks ago and now, your signature talk should be completed. Okay, then no, this is your signature talk that you're recording. Okay.
Your husband is attempting to reach you on your cellular.
My husband, y'all. I love it. Okay. All right. Well, let me go. You guys have been great. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Ask questions in the group. I got to get back in the group because y'all been quiet. So I got to come in and agitate y'all some because y'all done got quiet and I'm scared y'all sleep. And I can't have that. You can't sleep in class. You cannot sleep in class. So I can't leave you by yourself to your own devices. I got to come in and start shaking y'all up. So I will be in the group doing that, especially as this 7-day challenge is going on. If you have questions, make sure that you put them in the group so that everybody can give you feedback, okay? Until next time, live like you matter, because guess what? You do. Thank you.